they're one and the same while they're going through that process. The other thing I thought was interesting, when they looked at all the different topics that you looked at, yesterday I quoted this quote from Bobby Wright. He said that there should be no topic that is too sacred that we can't put underneath a rigorous scientific study. And I think that's what happens up there, is that all these topics, whether we agree or disagree, all these topics where they can come together and deal with that is good. Because I don't know about y'all, but there's certain topics people say you're not supposed to discuss. Like, you don't speak about those in particular areas. So I think, so again, to create that space where you can deal with all those topics, that's a very Bobby Wright thing to do. Other thing that's very interesting too is this idea of being confrontational. And when you think about, you hear stories about Bobby Wright being confrontational. I hear about Amos Wilson saying that after I teach my class, if students are uncomfortable, I haven't done something right. And so when you think about when Dr. Bolden gets up and he speaks, there's certain times where like people they feel a little uncomfortable. And I just think that's very good, because we're in this space talking about Bobby Wright, and here we have the recipient of the Bobby Wright Service Award who makes people feel uncomfortable. I mean, when I get done talking, sometimes people say, "Those are some good ideas. I like what you said. Can I check that?" But I don't make people squirm in their seat, right? And that means, like, if I don't make you squirm in your seat, then there's still somewhere I need to go, at least on that level, because Mark is gonna make you squirm in your seat a little bit, right? All right. So I thought that was good. Also, this idea of to sharpen each other. Again, Bobby Wright talked about black people. One of the impacts of Menacide was this idea of being anti-intellectual. But you can't be anti-intellectual if you're dealing with all those ideas, and if the whole point was to go back and forth so you can sharpen your intellectual wit. So this whole process. I thought the cosmogram was a good point, because a lot of times we think, well, cosmograms is something real abstract and spiritual, and they were able to take that cosmogram and make it into something that we interpret our everyday lived experiences. Just two more points. This idea that menacide is genocide. And making that connection that ultimately what Bobby Wright was talking about with menacide was still dealing with genocide. And I think that ties in a lot of times when we listen to some of the things that Mark talks about. A lot of times we look at that, okay, well, this idea of violence, this idea of killing, but I think what he's really saying, when we think about that Bobby Wright quote when he said that black people never kill black people because they haven't been taught to kill whites. And we think about that on one level, that's real radical, but we can trace that back to Ida B. Wells, who said about lynching that perhaps if every time a black person was lynched, a white man was lynched, then perhaps lynching would decrease. And so the same type of thing is that it's supposed to spark your idea or your concentration, or make you pay attention to this idea of what is the value of black life. So I think that's what it's really saying, this idea of the value for black life. So if there was a fierce love, like Baba Kobe liked to say, this fierce love for black life, and then when you counter that fierce love, which means that I'm going to have some mechanism where I can have some self-defense for black life, then I think that's the context that we find here. The last point, the role of Bobby Wright as activist and community psychologist and all those community organizations he was involved in. I think ultimately what this dope does for us, and that's different from dope as in some more drugs, right? But yeah, what this dope does for us, which is different, is that I think it's an example of a model of the process of how you can counter menacide and actually create a black social theory. So it shows us that it's a model of how you go through that process. Not the only model, but definitely a model of how that process can occur. And I appreciate y'all.